Evening lads and lasses, how we're doing and welcome back to the channel. In the past couple of days we've been made aware that Newcastle United were actually potentially meant to be replacing Eddie Howe with serial winner Julian Nagelsmann. Now straight off the bat, Julian Nagelsmann is a fantastic manager. He done unbelievable with Hoffenheim. I'm pretty sure he started off at Hoffenheim under 18s, then RB Leipzig, done fantastic with them. Bayern Munich, I think he got wrongfully sacked there as well. He done great with them as well. German national team manager, didn't go too well for him there. But we've been made aware in the past couple of days that, yes of course, Newcastle United were wanting to replace Eddie Howe with Julian Nagelsmann. Now, in today's press conference, Eddie Howe was actually asked on them links, what does he sort of think about it? How does he feel that another manager is getting linked to his job? Now, before we even get into that, I think that's so rude. That is so rude to ask a manager who, in my opinion, look, we are in a bit of bad form. We could potentially be out with 3 cups by the time we play Manchester City in the FA Cup quarter-finals. But to ask a man who's pretty secure after what he's done for in the past 2 years, the potential of another manager coming in. Look, I know the media have got to sort of get their answers. They are pretty ruthless, so to speak. Many people don't like them because of how the crowd people and all that sort of stuff in public areas. I know they have to get their answers, but I can't help but feel how rude this is to ask Eddie Howe after what he's done for us on the potential of another manager coming in. It's so disrespectful. But anyways, we've got news on Julian Nagelsmann and what Eddie Howe has said on the potential of Julian Nagelsmann taking over his managing position. Absolutely mental. I never thought I would even say this, but without further ado, let's get into it. Just before we do, ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy this video, hit that like button. It's obviously, we need to keep them coming in on the channel. You've been doing fantastic recently. I think we've nearly got 300 subscribers in the last 2 days. That is absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much for the support. Subscribe if you are new around here for all Newcastle United content. And actually, before we get into the sort of Julian Nagelsmann and Eddie Howe situation, there's one thing which is mind-boggling to me, and I've just got to speak about it. It's actually pretty cool. I don't really use that word. I think it's a little bit cringeworthy, but it's very, very cool. St James's Park in this year of June, I believe it is set to host the Over 35 World Cup. Now, what on earth is the Over 35 World Cup? I believe this is the first ever year it's happening. If it's not and it's something that's went under the radar, then that's my fault. I've never heard of it before. But it's set to be hosted at St James's Park. Not just one game, all 7 games. And the calibre of players in this competition is absolutely unbelievable. We are talking Ronaldinho's going to be at St James's Park. Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Kaká, Hernan Crespo, Fabio Cannavaro, Materazzi, Thierry Henry, Marc Desailly. Honestly, it's some of the best footballers to ever have played the game are set to play in the Over 35 World Cup. Now, to be eligible to play in that, you need to have over 100 appearances for your club, and you need to also be over 35 years of age. Mental. We're going to say Ronaldinho at St James's Park, but get that out of the way. I just thought it was pretty cool. That's reported by the Mail Sport. But on to the Julian Nagelsmann situation. Now, this first come to fruition yesterday when, let me get his name, it's Christian Falk, who is a pretty sort of Bayern Munich transfer fanatic. Of course, Julian Nagelsmann did manage Bayern Munich and 2 of our teams in Germany and the German national team. Now, he said Newcastle United is interested in Julian Nagelsmann, who is 36-year-old. That's unbelievably young for a manager. Of course, his playing career got cut short through injuries. He said the German national coach has not decided that he wants to return to a club or sign a new contract for any sort of club yet. I think he's taking a little bit of time out after that sort of disaster at the German national team. Nagelsmann is in the same agency as Fabian Schär for Newcastle United. Now, today, Eddie Howe was asked about the links of Julian Nagelsmann, and yet again, I think that is so disrespectful to ask Eddie Howe, who, in my opinion, yes, again, we've hit so many bumps in the road. We may be out of 3 competitions very soon when we play Man City away. But to ask Eddie Howe his sort of job security, I think that is genuinely so disrespectful. And I can't imagine how that makes Eddie Howe feels, no matter what he says and what we are going to talk about now. Now, Eddie Howe said this, of course, I read my news onto my right. I don't honestly think I'm just looking away from the camera. He said, genuinely, it doesn't affect me. I'm here, I'm sat in the seat. Absolutely, Eddie Howe, you go and boss it. You are the manager of this football club. I still can't get over that comment, by the way. My future will be defined by what I do, nobody else. You're absolutely right there, Eddie. It's up to me to continually prove that this club is off limits to big name managers, but I back myself and my abilities. I know what I bring to the job and my qualities. I have ambitions for the team and the club. I can't control what people write. Honestly, yet again, it's actually infuriated me that somebody has asked that question. Now, of course, it's not the person who's asked the question fault. It's also the person who's made up that sort of news. Eddie Howe isn't going to get replaced. Now, I'm not saying Julian Nagelsmann isn't a good manager. He's one of the best there is. What he done with Hoffenheim, he basically rose them from the dead. He done fantastic with them. RB Leipzig, fantastic. Bayern Munich, fantastic. German national team, it's a sort of different ballgame going from club to country. But yet again, he didn't do well there. I think he got like 1 win, 2 losses and a draw, and then he just quit. A bit bizarre. But look, he's a fantastic manager, but I just think it's so disrespectful. Yet again, how can you ask someone who's done so much for us after the slightest little bump and we've had all these injuries, we've been hit with Europe for the first time in a very, very long time. The players look like they're not trying, especially against Blackburn. I don't get it. Like, that is so disrespectful. Eddie Howe, look, he's saying there, it's up to him. He backs himself. Absolutely, Eddie. You go in there and you absolutely boss it, mate. He's our manager, set in stone. He is Newcastle United's manager. I want Eddie Howe to be here forever and ever, no matter what we hit. People saying he's out of his depth. No, he's not. It's not even his third full season yet, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what I mean? He's already survived us from relegation in a season where nobody's actually survived. Was it 11? No wins in 11 games we got. Then the next season, we had a squad that was nowhere near the level of even competing for European football. Never mind Champions League football. We got to Champions League. Look, this season, we didn't have the squad to compete, and we still nearly got out of the group of death. Paris Saint-Germain, we got robbed away there. AC Milan at home, look, last minute, it happens. Borussia Dortmund home and away, I believe we didn't even have a striker. Borussia Dortmund at home, we had Callum Wilson, but he was absolutely crap in that match. And then Borussia Dortmund away, we didn't have a striker. We had to start Lewis Hall, who, of course, for Eddie Howe isn't really that prioritised. But I don't get it. Carabao Cup have been knocked out at the last minute as well. Fair enough, in the league, our form is not great. Some of the performances, especially against Blackburn, they have looked terrible. Even when we had Joe Willock, Isak, Bruno in the side, we couldn't even create chances against Blackburn. They were actually the better team in creating more chances for the majority of the match. That does need to change, but I still back Eddie Howe 110%. I don't know who doesn't. You let me know down below if you still back Eddie Howe. Honestly, till the day I die, I genuinely will. Another reason why I always want Eddie Howe at this club, when we've had past managers like Steve Bruce, Steve McLaren, fair enough, Rafa, he was definitely a sort of a diamond in the dirt, if you want to say. How on earth we poached him in that time? He was absolutely unbelievable for us. The football he played wasn't the best, but was still grinded out some results against some top teams. But the likes of Steve Bruce and Steve McLaren, what sort of pity appointments were they? They were terrible. When they came to Newcastle United, they were a manager. They were a manager set in stone. Steve Bruce, for example, he took more time away than actually being at the training ground. I swear it was like 3 days a week or something like that. Absolutely terrible. He's more bothered about his bacon slices. But what I was on about, they came to manage Newcastle United, try and get results on the pitch, not even get results on the pitch, train them, there, that's it. But Eddie Howe was the man that gets results on the pitch. He looks after them behind the scenes, doesn't just train them, he nurtures them, and that's what I like about him as well. He speaks so discreet in the press conferences, which can be annoying at times, but it's what you want from your sort of top manager. Don't leak anything to your opponents, always be respectful. And he's building a foundation. Yeah, he is building something much bigger than a manager. He wants to get his hands in every sort of pocket, if you know what I mean. The scouting department, the transfer department, the sort of financial department. He wants to be the man in absolutely everything. And that's exactly what I want my manager to be. I want him to have his wits about and sort of knowledge in every single area in the club. I don't just want him to have like, all right, owners, you go do what you want for the money. It might not fit my sort of style of play. You go get who you want. Absolutely not, like we're seeing in the Amazon documentary with Anthony Gordon. They wanted Anthony Gordon because he epitomised what Eddie Howe wants as a team. Intensity, graft, hard work, getting back as a winger, and his goal scoring and assisting at the minute, of course, his end product is becoming very, very good. What a player he's going to be in years to come. Sandro Tonali, of course, unfortunately we haven't seen the best of him, but you can just see that lad, and you know how much you love Sandro Tonali. Oh my God, what a footballer he is. He's just that man who, people think, look, he's just this man who bombs forward. Absolutely not. He sits back, he does the dirty work, he gets tackles in here, left, right and centre. He doesn't even have to slide in. It's just one toe poke, straight out. One touch pass, straight out. Tackles fantastic, crossing fantastic, set pieces fantastic. But the main reason he was bought was to match that Eddie Howe intensity and to match the fantastic sort of pace we play within the team. Honestly, I can't wait until he comes back. I went on a bit of a tangent there, but you do get what I'm on about. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know what your thoughts on of the Eddie Howe and Julian Nagelsmann situation. And yet again, I don't agree with that question being asked, but it's not exactly the reporter's fault. It is the person who made up that sort of fake story, shall we say. I can't see Julian Nagelsmann coming in at any time for Eddie Howe. Also did get confirmation from Craig Hope, I think it was just about a week ago now, that Newcastle United are going to back Eddie Howe, yet again, as you would expect. But that's been the video, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed, hit that like button, and of course, if you are new around here, hit subscribe for all Newcastle United content. See you soon, and actually, see you tomorrow. It's Friday today, isn't it? Yeah, it is Friday. See you tomorrow for a matchday vlog against Wolves. Stay tuned for that, and of course, hit that notification bell if you haven't already to be first for every single video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, people.